Click the links to join the channel here, become a member, or over at subscribe star the various other links you want to mail me a comic or something cool. So, did films become soy because of soy boy writers? I mean, you got to read in between the lines here a little bit. I mean, the title, if you're not looking at it, is a novelist Finn explains the death of superhero movies, mirrors the death of westerns, and it has nothing to do with so-called fatigue. That's the copium that when the James Gunn types are doing their interviews, they'll come out there and they'll try to explain why these movies are bombing. They go, well, the fads come and go. Speaking of James Gunn, people seem to be really pissed off over a couple of remarks he made about Batman from the 90s. Kind of surprising. Like, that's what got people upset, not the other things he was saying about kids in, like a prurient type of relationship with him. Like, him criticizing Batman movies from the 90s, which, honestly, I thought all the Batmans, starting with 89 and all the campy ones that followed, they were fun in their own way. It's like, that was Batman. It wasn't the comic, but it was like, that's a fine portrayal on the bat nipples and the bat credit card. It was fun. Arnold and Mr. Freeze. It's like, that was the 90s. That was just kind of a lot of fun in the 90s. Anyway, so James Gunn has pissed people off because of like what he said years ago about, I don't know, maybe there might have been something else to it, but it's, it's weird what bothers people and the kind of things that don't let people just totally ignore. It's like they focus on things honestly, it's pretty frustrating. So, did the death of westerns mirror the failing superhero films? He actually has a great point. I never heard of this guy, Declan Finn. He's selling a book on, he's probably Amazon or something. We can take a look at it at the end of the video. So he's got a theory on why the superhero genre is going up. You can send me books too, as well as comics. Thanks to mostly Vegan, who's been sending me comics. So and all about the books is also sent a ton of comics, and the Thor comics too. Thanks to everyone. So the superhero genre is going up its own butt and failing, and he says it mirrors the westerns that are also dying. But he explains why he thinks the western film died, because in the early '60s, the cowboy shows, those kind of like, I almost said streaming shows, but they weren't called streaming shows in the '60s. TV, it's called TV. I forgot what TV is all about. Those writers couldn't relate to the heroic manly man as anything other than a hollow, evil, conniving type of villain. And if you want to send comics, Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Iron Man, and the Hulk, where I was kind of a Marvel person, were my favorites. I went back and I reread all the Hulk, starting from the very beginning. And it was amazing how good that early Hulk was. And, I wasn't into it as a kid, but as an adult, like in 2015, I went back and I started reading comics online, of course, and read the whole Hulk, all of it, up until it got woke. But that early stuff, it's amazing how they're kind of telling the same story over and over again about this tortured guy, this like kind of the Book of Job type of character. Who's got to survive, and he's just this, kind of like Spider-Man too. Like the Marvel characters had a lot of trauma. Like some with the Spider-Man, too much trauma. You want to see Peter Parker actually have some fun once in his life. But it's amazing how they managed to keep the Hulk fresh. And Vegas Hulk was my favorite, and the Gray Hulk. So the thing is, I suspect all this is kind of projection on the part of the writers. And if you didn't think woke went that far back to the early 60s, I think it did, mostly because I read this great article about this guy's theory in about 1963, when the I Dream of Jeannie and the Bewitched shows about, the girls were witches, that kind of stuff, that signaled the start of the changeover in Hollywood from, and created this, from a patriarchal Leave It to Beaver type of nationalist Christian blood tribe family order structure based show to start the globalist subversive anti-family propaganda. And I wish I could find that. I think I did the video for it on Odyssey and BitChute. The thing is, the subversion starts so gently. There's a scene in the C.S. Lewis books. One of them, there's a series of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where the kids are walking around, and there's like this dining hall that's with people seated around the dining hall, and it's frozen in time, and there's royalty seated around the table, and they start out looking at the faces, and they start out handsome and strong. Then the faces start to look a little too proud, and then arrogant, then haughty, finally craven, cunning, and all the way evil at the very end. I think, if I remember right, they awaken the witch at the end of that or something like that. What a great short stories those were. It's sort of the soft times create soft men. Well, that's what happened in about 1963 in America and Hollywood. The Bolsheviks started taking their mask off. The early shows dealing with witchcraft was presented as silly and harmless, which on the face of it definitely is. Don't get me wrong. Witches do not have magic power. That's nonsense. But the subversive aspects of changing the power dynamic from male to female, yeah, that's evil. It destroys society. Yeah, the patriarchy is there for a reason. Men are meant to run society. Is that politically correct in current year? Y'all know it deep down. Like, you all know it deep down. Y'all know this direction we're going in, and it's way off fucking course. Was America and the family better in 1950 than now? Was it better for all of us? Yes, it was. If you knew your history, you'd see that it was better for all families. Hasn't everything in America steadily gotten worse since the 1960s and liberalism, feminism, and globalism? Doesn't it seem like the road to hell is paved with good intentions? Wasn't your grandma, your granddad, weren't they right about most things? You know, there's intolerant bigots. Say what? Yeah, your own family is going to be right, and whatever the mass media and the government schools are telling you is going to be wrong. You want to stick with your own family, even if you don't understand why they're right. It's like, but my teacher told me. Your teacher's a fucking idiot. How about that? Listen to your uncles, your aunts, your family and your extended family. Anyway, it turns out a society needs law and order, crime and punishment. The trains have to run on time. Stores can't be looted. And can we have a functioning civilization if the stores are looted? No. Can you look at San Francisco? Oh, the stores are leaving. They were going to close down shop anyway in San Francisco, Seattle, and Portland. Okay, but whatever the reason, but they are leaving San Francisco. It's not just one or two stores. It's quite a few stores that have been there for like 30, 40 years. Yeah, they're Nordstrom's as well as the Walgreens. Well, because people were walking in the stores and walking out with. You can't have inventory shrink like that. It's like, oh, is that a nice way of saying looting? Yeah, product loss, inventory shrink. Yeah, that's looting. They're just, oh, so what happened? Well, eventually the stores closed because but they're insured. You think insurance is a magic? You think it's a Federal Reserve where they magically print money based on nothing? That's not how insurance works. They have to pay for it, and if they're filing insurance claims, well, their insurance is either going to go up or be canceled. The insurance company is not magic. These fucking idiots. It's so you're dealing with people. You realize like there are people in power now, like they can all vote, who are like sub 120 IQ. Which don't get me wrong, that's not a low IQ, but those people shouldn't be in power making decisions under 120 IQ. Like the people making decisions, there should be a threshold. And you've got like AOC, AOC is in office. You look at that, you go, how does that happen? Oh, that's a dead country. It's not a dying country. That's a country that's already dead. It's just in its zombie state right now. Anyway, so you can't have stores being looted and have a functioning civilization. You can't have an anti-white media and academia and expect this society to survive. Well, but the stores will come back. No, they left. They're not coming back to San Francisco. But we have food deserts because of istophobicism. No, you have food deserts because of crime, but mostly because your elected representatives won't punish crime. So that's on you. You voted for it. What do you want me to say to this? So, no, it didn't. We're not surviving. Russia collapsed after Reagan, late 80s, and America is collapsing right now. You're just in the middle of it watching. And it's a slow collapse. Don't get me wrong. It's not as catastrophic as Russia. America is mostly dying of apathy because people are too fat to get off the couch and fight for it. Anyway, and whenever they do, they're immediately called feds. Any group that meets IRL is immediately sold out by the MAGA crowd on the right wing. So anyway, these writers were becoming soy boy pussies, and even soy people hate each other. So they started writing the anti-heroes because they were envious of the iconic heroes because they looked at themselves and were found lacking. Soft times create pussies and cat ladies. Then they started to insert toxic globalist messaging in their shows, movies, comic books. They insert their venomous self-image into everything they write, and they slowly ruined it. The only thing that kept them going is that the IQ thankfully gets lower every year in America, so people don't understand how stupid everything they watch is. But it seems to be peaking now because for the first time, you're actually seeing huge bombs come out of Hollywood, and they're not rare anymore. It's not just the superhero genre. Those are big budget films, so when they bomb, they're losing $100 million. But I think it starts with a superhero genre. They're making Mary Sue level woke SJW cancer films of diversity and girl power. except we hate diversity and girl power. We want the opposite, tribalism and patriarchy. But you're not going to get it from Hollywood, so you're going to see the superhero genre fade out into something else, some other mental soy slop bred in circuses for the cattle debt slaves. Anything to keep the sheep distracted so they don't throw a revolution and go bowling with biological bowling balls. The upside is stuff like Comicsgate. This is a great time to write your graphic novel. Don't bother with an actual book because people don't have the attention span to read anymore. But comics still work. Eventually, it will probably just be shiny objects that resemble people getting kicked in the balls. You can't have Soyboys write heroes because they hate heroes. Their version is going to be Pox Walks lesbian BLT who hates blonde people and regurgitates every topical SJW talking point about hating Trump and opening the borders and evil blonde gangs running the evil inner cities. Yeah, it's actually blonde biker gangs with blue eyes running the inner cities of Detroit and Chicago. Did you know that? No, because I'm not a fucking idiot, but you know, it's good to know that's the narrative. What was that movie, James Cameron movie that just came out? You know, the whole CGI thing about space aliens. I don't know. They're like these blue space aliens and some stupid movie. I couldn't get through all of it. It's too stupid. But the bad guy is a short-haired, you know, Marine Corps type of guy, and he's got these piercing blue eyes. Like, I knew he's the bad guy because he's got blue eyes. Da 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 da. I think about that just more. I thought, why did they make him like Mexican or black? You know, 80% of the world has dark eyes, black eyes. 80% of the world has that melanin in their eyes. It's a rare minority that has gray, green, blue, and hazel eyes. But in every movie or comic or TV show, the bad guys have blue eyes. Isn't that weird? Doesn't that make you scratch your noggin? Don't say anything in the comments. Looking at you, Furfig McDeer. And no, his name is not Fig. It's something else. So, but every time I read his name, I literally laugh out loud. I honestly, I do have the best commentators. It's just they're right on the edge of not being allowed on YouTube, which is why some of those comments disappear. So the pop culture passed the point of no return, partially due to social media pressure, but mostly because of the change. Of the people in charge are flat out Bolsheviks. They have their foot on the pedal and they do not care if the engine blows. They decided that this is their shot and it's full send. And I admire their dedication. It's true that they are lizard demon hybrids, but at least they have the balls to just say fuck it and go for it. Their goal is to remove people like your emerald-eyed hero over here from this mortal coil. But at least they're doing it while we sit on our couches and call everyone a millimeter further to the right a glow job fed in the trees. Is that off topic? See, the thing is, I don't think it is. All the crystals are connected at the center of the garden orb's web, and it's the 9th inning, and the black flag is waving. Is it time for us to go full send? Abso-fucking-lutely. Fed says what? Yeah. By all means, it's safer to sit on your couch. Yeah, we'll have a petition. I'll pass around this meme on Gab. Okay. That's great. Why don't you stick your thumb up your ass while you're at it? Smear feces on the wall. Bang. I don't care what you do. It's all effing pointless. Another meme and petition. This will really show the media is going to break this story wide open. The FBI is going to arrest the FBI. The media is going to report on the media. Are you drinking the fucking Kool-Aid? What's wrong with these people? Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Stay on the couch by all means. Hey, more soy slop. I gotta watch my sports ball. You understand? It's college. It's college sports ball. It's cool, right? It's all bred in circuses. Anyway, you support the subscribe star for the other videos. Watch my descent into madness. But I know I'm not alone. That's the cool thing. That's a tip that my Telegram channel tells me, at least. Anyway, so yeah, books by Declan Finn. You can check him out on probably books2read.com. He's probably on Amazon also. I guess I should take a look. Okay, I guess this is his website or a book selling site. So he's got it looks like self-published type of stuff. Now here's the thing. I have read way more self-published stuff over the past 10 to 15 years. Because as soon as the internet kind of started going, about 20 years ago, people saw that they could put their stuff online, and some of the stuff was they were selling it directly for like $1 a book. Like I got heavily into zombies a long time ago, and you could find all that stuff either for free online or it would be like a couple of bucks a book. And the smart thing for them to do is once you get in, you sell the first book free, and And once you get the audience, you just start doing a series and continue it, and you start selling those books for like $1 or $2 a book. And a lot of them were every bit as good as anything in the mainstream. And you could read like usually like a quarter of the book for free to start off with. And this stuff was just as excellent as anything else. And it was, $1 for the book, and you get, a digital version of it is fine. But like self-published stuff is turned out to be, there's some fantastic stuff online. I mean, especially now you got like a phone or a Kindle. It's like you can put, thousands of books on your cell phone. Anytime you're waiting, you got time to read one. Anyway, you can check this dude out, and check me out on Subscribestar. And we'll see you guys all next episode.